started. So honored to have the blessing to share this time with you. So as I mentioned, we're going to practice some Qigong. And I have a beautiful set of Meridian Qigong forms that we'll practice today that'll really help to rinse out all of the superhighways and the backroads in your body so that you can find yourself more easily and more fully and more joyfully positioned in an open heart and in the flow of both giving and receiving blessings on the path. So begin by bringing your feet to the width of your hips and open your mouth. You don't have to make any particular shape with your mouth, but open your mouth so that you're pulling the breath in through the teeth. So it's an audible breath. It sounds perhaps somewhat like the rushing of water. So go until you're naturally full, and then go a little more. Sip in another gush of breath in. And then also with the open mouth, let the rivering mixture of inhale and exhale have its play in your body. So exhaling until you're naturally empty, and then exhale a little bit more. Letting yourself place value in this moment of breathing, placing value on emptiness. We'll hold space in our flow today around the power of empty force. We're all very familiar in modern Western culture with brute force. So in the world of Qi, empty force really becomes a tremendous ally. So hearing the way that you're breathing, you know, we're all familiar with the way the breath sounds above, or with the way water sounds above ground, right? The rushing sound of water above ground. But I want you to get into the underside of the way water sounds when you're inside of it. The underside of the way your breath sounds when you're inside of it. This is the sound of entering your human heart. So stay in this audible open mouth breathing for another moment before we do the first form. This deep rushing sound of entering your human heart. It isn't perhaps the silence that we expect to be greeted by when we think about the journey of entering our human heart. It is this great rushing, oftentimes, this essential resonance of the heart, because this is the sound of the presence of love that is within us, which is so massive. Getting into the underside of the sound. Have an experiential depth with this next inhale. And this last exhale. So moving right along into our flow of meridian forms, you're going to take the legs into a nice wide stance, and you're going to keep the knees straight, and it's as if you have a ball in your hands and you're rolling the ball. So I'm rocking my right hip up as I bring my left hip down, and I'm rocking my left hip up as I bring my right hand down. So just get the feeling for the flow of that. And see if you can still do this aquatic style of breathing. Let it bring you into the power of your open human heart. Courage rather, is a heart word. It takes a lot of courage for us to stay positioned in our open hearts. And practice is a really fine way of making sure that we stay in that position. Reverse directions one more time. Flowing with the ball. So cor, which is the Latin root word in courage, actually means heart. So these two are connected. Feel your heart beginning to warm and and open and widen and soften. Good. Now bring the energy up. Step the feet back together. Bring your hands to your lower dantian and then ground the chi. So bring your hands to your kidneys with your fingers either pointing down or maybe you have your fingers pointing up. So these are girdle vessel rotations. Keep your knees straight and circulate your pelvis 6 or 7 times in one direction and then 6 or 7 times in the other direction. Now letting the breath get really natural. So this is the first iteration of the girdle vessel rotation, or take the legs into a much more broad squat. Take your arms up and then circulate the pelvis here in this place. Again, a bunch of times in one direction and then a bunch of times in the other direction. Opening the heart. So you can speak fully from your heart, you can listen from your heart, you can feel from your heart, you can know it by heart. Good, ground the chi. If you're in the large squat, step one leg in and then the other leg in. Bring your hands alongside the midline of the outer thighs. So this is a wave pattern in the pillar of the body. You want to finesse the flourish of the chi and the jing up from the feet, up into your pelvis, into the cave of the heart, through the gate of the throat, through the roof of the mouth, and up and out of the crown of the head, okay? So bring it all the way through. I'm gonna turn to the side so you've got that visual. So relaxed, so elemental, organic. Massaging all of the meridians, all of the small backroads, all of the obvious superhighways. Let the inhale be the sound of the underside of entering the heart, of being in the river. Couple more. Beautiful. Again, bring your hands to your lower dantian. Watch here for a moment. We're going to bring the feet wide, have the knees pointing forward, all 10 toes pointing forward. So this is dragon flips its tail. So you're going to take the arms forward. And here we have the same wave action. So forward and then back. Forward, exhale, and then back. Exhale, forward, inhale, back. Let the intensity move the chi, but let the intensity arise again from empty force, not because you're pushing it. It's arising in its own naturalness, in its own power, empty force. Let your belly be soft. Let your belly host or hostess all of the subtle dexterous nuances of flow. Now slow it down. I'm going to turn to the side again just for visibility. This is a beautiful complacency buster, this particular form. Dragon whips its tail. It's an interstitial form and it's getting in between all of the hard spots so as to soften them and make them even a bit easier. A complacency buster. Recognize that the intensity is moving the chi. One more flourish in the dragon form. Good. And then step your feet together. So still in the heavenly pillar family. Watch here. When I'm facing forward, I have my palms facing the earth. And then as I twist, I'll rotate my palms to face up. So in this case, I've twisted to the left and I'm bringing my left eye to the left thumb. So this is so gentle, yet so shockingly effective. Inhale here, and then exhale here. Lifting up, elongating and extending and expanding your spine. So when we practice from empty force and when we practice with empty force, we don't have to flex our integrity because we're always in it. Inhale here, and then exhale here. Underneath the water, get inside the body of water. Get inside yourself. Hear your breathing in the most profound way. Open your heart. Enter the openness of your heart. Every twist is a kind of invigoration equation. Honoring, acknowledging, and embodying in this address that is you, in this moment here today, in this group, in this way. Bring the hands as you face forward to the lower dantian. A moment of sincere gratitude, flooding every system, the spaces between the cells and the organs, the entire terrain of the mind, feeling the chi revolving up the spine and through the tree of life that is your brain and your nervous system. Take the arms out, the legs can stay as they are. You're gonna flex both hands and push down, push the buttock bones down, tuck the low ribs in, lift the spine, all these sort of secret inner movements that aren't visible to the outer eye, but that are setting things up for the righteous flow of life force. In IP, the smallest unit of energy that we work with is prana, it's breath. It's your breath. You are doing small things nicely by tuning into how it is that you are being breathed. It's the hidden conductor. Let yourself be breathed. Now, join the tip of your left thumb with the other 4 fingers of that hand and then point the left fingers towards the right wrist and then drop your left ear. Again, another super subtle form, yet so powerful. Come to center. And then join the thumb of the right hand with the other fingers of that hand and point all the fingers towards the left wrist. The left palm is pushing softly. Again, it's empty force coming from the integrity and the buoyancy and the eternity of the ball that is your belly. Pushing from empty force, left palm to the earth, and then drop your right ear towards the right hand. So inhale and reverse. Inhale, reverse. Inhale, reverse. Inhale. A very small gesture, opening your heart, positioning you courageously. It's what Brené Brown calls ordinary courage, right? It's not heroic courage, but it's this courage of openness so that we can be in the blessings and be in the ambiguity from a place of wholeness, to be awake in the world. Once more on each side, friends. Drop the hands alongside the outer thighs. Stand up a little bit taller, a little bit more freely. recognizing yourself as an estuary. So neck rolls here. Take it only to a degree that feels comfortable. If you feel any discomfort, any pain, any stress, back it up. We want to be really tender with our necks, especially when we sit all day in front of these machines. But we want to open the gate too. So a few circles in one direction, and then in the other direction. So working now with the kidneys and the front and back send lines of your body. I'm going to take a nice wide stance, and I'm going to weave opposite hand into the bend of the opposite elbow. And exhale, I'm going to forward fold and surrender and enjoy this moment of folding forward. And then on the inhale, I'm going to come up, press the forearms folded as they are into the space between the top of the pelvic bone and the bottom of the ribs. Bend the knees and then hang the head back. Doesn't matter how far you go, but you do want to go far enough into the feeling of it so that you know that you're addressing your kidneys. Okay, so this is our exhale, coming up. And then inhale, knees bent. You could just tip back here and trust and surrender with some faith and persistence through the gaze. Otherwise, you could take it back a little bit further. Coming up, inhale, exhale. Entering the cave of the heart. Coming up. And exhale. And then inhale here. Coming up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Once more. When we keep our meridians healthy, when we keep our radiant body healthy, then we begin to know a kind of ageless mobility. That too is a blessing, worth counting and worth including. So this next form is called diamond. Last time this group met, I know that I taught an iteration of it, but I'm going to give you all the details again here. So on the out breath, similar to where we just were, on the out breath, creating a diamond shape with the hands, I'm forward folding here, and then I'm going to twist to one side. Now I'm going to bend my knees, take it back, and go to the other side, and all the way back around. So I'm going to do it 3 or 4 times, going in one direction, and then I'm going to switch. Be aware of the hidden conductor that's carrying you, that's guiding you, that's supporting you. Heart is open, courageous heart. Switch sides. Again, don't worry about how far you're leaning back. Last one. And lift the chi up. Bring the
the tips of your middle fingers to face one another with the palms facing the sky, with about 1 inch between the hands. So we're not hanging the head or adjusting its alignment, but we're looking down with the eyes towards that void space between the fingers, the empty space, empty force. You know, rarely in our waking hours do we come in contact with emptiness. Place value on the empty moments, for it's these empty moments that give us back hours of tranquility. And therefore, whatever you need to focus upon or whatever your work is, you can do it with greater vigor and efficiency and joy and fulfillment. Place value on the emptiness. Let it be one of your values. You know, many of us worry that if we place value on emptiness, that we will become lazy or that our work will lose its value. The fact is, our work increases in value when we have a relationship with emptiness. One more breath here. Again, return to the rivering mixture. Get inside of the body of water. Get underneath the surface. We're going to kick the left leg out straight. Both knees will stay straight enduringly for this form. I've lifted the left toes to point up, and I'm going to bring my hands into the jade palm mudra. So I'm bringing the radiance points of the thumbs together. I've got the left fist into the jade palm of the right hand, and then that will stay positioned right here in front of my open heart. So I'm going to fold forward on the out breath and rise back up on the in breath. And then I'm going to twist on the out breath, looking to the point of the left elbow and come back to center on the in breath. Forward fold on the out breath. Empty force. Twist on your out breath. Inhale, come to center. Exhale. Open every room in your heart. Exhale. Come through to center. Reverse the jade palm. So the left hand is now in the plate, the right hand is in the fist. So this is an iteration of a no violence mudra. So it's the removal of the ordinary violence so that we can be the embodiment of the ordinary courage. And when I use the word ordinary, it is in the most respectful manner, right? So here we are, inhale. We've got the toes of the right foot pointed towards the sky. Spine is long. The belly is defined by empty force. The face is also defined by a neutrality and empty force. Exhale, fold. Getting into all of the meridians, into the fascial matrix of your body. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, twist to the right. Bring your gaze to the point of your right elbow. Go as deep into it as you can without pushing. Inhale back to center. Exhaling. Inhale.
Exhale. Inhale. One more forward fold over this right leg. Inhale. Exhale. Come back through. Eagle spreads its wings. Watch here for a second. I'm going to bring my right leg behind my left leg. My left hand is going to come to my wingman, and my right arm, which will act as my wing, will come to the shoulder, and then I'll reach all the way through the gallbladder channel. And then opening. Right leg stands, left leg tucks behind the right. You want to press down with some certainty through the feet to stabilize your body. Right hand in this case to the Mingmen between the kidneys and the doors of life. Left hand to the shoulder, and then reach your eagle wing. So join me if you haven't already. Inhale. Left leg steps back out into neutral. Right leg behind the left leg. Left hand to the middle of the low back. Right hand becomes the wing. Empty force. Inhale. Left leg behind the right leg. Right hand to the wingman. Left hand to the shoulder. Reach your wing. Breathing, 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 breathing. Once more in each direction. These forms, these beautiful forms which acknowledge both sides, which acknowledge the polarities, which position us in our neutrality, create a safe space in our heart-mind where we can recognize ourselves to be sometimes simultaneously stellar and screwed up at the same time. That we can simultaneously be completely dope and 100% humble at the same time. Feel yourself in the middle. Taking a stand in the middle. In the middle. Empty face, empty core. Nothing in the orbit of your energy, your radiant body. So I'm going to bring my feet completely together. I'm going to rinse out the spleen and the liver in this next form. Have a look. I'm going to weave my fingers up and rotate the palms of my hands to face the sky. And then I'm going to twist, or not twist, but rock to the left side, really wringing out the spleen here, straightening the top right arm, and gently, very gently looking into the bend of the right elbow. Inhale, coming back up, and then lift your heels if you can. Drop the heels. Exhale, tip to the right, straighten the top left arm, look into the eye of the left elbow, wringing out the liver. Inhale out. Lift the heels. Drop your heels.
And do this a few more times. Exhale into the side bend. Developing your relationship with emptiness as you practice. Once more on each side. This will be the last lifting of the heels for this form, this liver and spleen form, and then open the arms. So the last form we'll do together today is opening the heart to the sky. Have a look. I'm going to take my feet just a little bit wider than they currently are. Opening the heart to the sky. Notice that once I wrap my elbows and arms in this way, I've placed my hands on the opposite shoulders. I'm collapsing in a way that's wringing out the heart and lung meridians. And I'm also, once again, lifting my heels up, okay? So we're working all these little subtle things, so subtle, but they're working with your meridians in a powerful way on the inside. Opening the heart to the sky. Remember, friends, that your practice is facilitating your awakening. It's one of the ways that is facilitating your awakening. And your awakening is the greatest gift that you can give to the world this holiday season. Give the gift of your awakened self. Let's use this final form of opening the heart to the sky to connect ever more deeply. Inhale. Open the arms out on the east-west track. Relax the shoulders. Empty force, empty face, empty belly. And then open. Bend the knees a little bit. Drop the hands and arms down at low, deep diagonals. Bring it all the way through the neck. Come back up to standing. Bring the right elbow in front. Right hand to the left shoulder, left hand to the right shoulder. Collapse, rinse the heart and lung meridian. Look forward, lift your heels. Arms forward, inhale. Open. Exhale. Inhale. Left elbow in front, left hand to the right shoulder, right hand to the left shoulder. Collapse, rinse the heart and the lungs. Inhale, straighten the spine, lift your heels. Drop your heels, inhale, both arms forward. Open. Exhale.
left hand to the right shoulder. Collapse, rinse, cave of the heart. Straighten the spine, inhale, lift your heels. Inhale, both arms forward. Open. Exhale, open further. Inhale. Left elbow in front. Right hand to the left shoulder, left hand to the right shoulder. Collapse. Straighten the spine, press your elbows into your chest. Lift your heels. Empty face, empty force. Drop your heels. Bring your hands in front of your heart center, an inch or so of space between the tips of the middle fingers, and slowly lower. Bring the feet together, slowly lowering the hands past the dantian, lower dantian, to the arms out to the side. Empty. So you can attract what you expect. So you can reflect what you desire. So you can become what you respect. And so you can mirror what you admire. Listen to your breath one more time. As the breath moves into your heart, your courageous heart. And just one more breath, please. Empty force. It's the moments of emptiness that give us back hours of tranquility. It's your awakening that is your gift.